So welcome back to the channel. It's like I never left you guys if you watched my last video. But today I found a hidden gem. Be sure to go back and watch that video on this truck because I'm not going to go over all the features as I did in the other video. But check out what we have here, guys. I have a Winnebago and I want to show you guys how much capacity this truck has. Now it's not going to be this model because they're very busy on the other side. And they have a really big Voyager. Here is the number real quickly. Really quickly, be sure to subscribe to JB Reviews and make sure you have those bell notifications on. And be sure to check out my other channel, Attainable Exotic Cars. Now let's get back to the video. So it will be the 3538BR. And this one I think is like a similar one, it's just a little bit smaller. But we're gonna go over the towing features on this truck. And then I'm going to do a quick walk around of the travel trailer. And then we're going to put the numbers together to see if this truck has enough payload. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and line the truck up with the trailer. I don't have a lot of space, so I got to make this bad boy count. Alright. So let's go ahead and put it back in reverse. So you can get a 360 camera with the Bighorn. This is a Bighorn and it is available, but on this truck it was not optioned. So all you have is this nice clear backup camera, and they allow you to zoom in. Look at that. I'm almost there. Look at that. I'm like perfect. Too bad I don't have a hitch on this truck. I could have maybe dropped down the weight. Maybe me and Justin Shanholster should do a video on that. Stay tuned. So let's take a look at all of your towing features. Now, I want to point out something new here. Do you see that they give you a off-road menu? What you guys could potentially do is you could use this to get an idea of how much squat you have. Now, the good news is an extra feature I have never gone over on my Weight Watchers is your air suspension. Ram does give you optional air suspension from the factory. They allow you to lower the rear bed by just pushing a button. So this allows you to get inside the bed easier, and it also lowers the bed for your fifth wheel hitch if you have a 3500, or for your conventional hitch on the rear. So you can clear the coupler on the trailer, you can lift it back up by pushing the button again, and then boom, you can pretty much make hooking up a lot easier. Alright guys, so as you can see below, I love Ram's mounting points for your chain, and I like the fact that Winnebago gives you a coiled breakaway switch too. That really does make life a little bit easier. Now this does have a 7-pin connector which goes right there, so it gives you quite a bit of slack here too. I mean, even like connecting your coupler, all this is pretty easy. Now the trailer we're going to look at has a slightly different tongue jack. It's going to have a BAL, which is a lot nicer. You'll see that in a second. But as you can see, I have lights on and everything like that because I'm hooked up to power on the truck. But this is going to be a class 5 receiving hitch, so this is going to be a 2.5-inch opening. One thing that I've noticed is that the RV manufacturers and truck manufacturers need to work better together to see if they can make these tongue jacks clear the tailgate without having to do modifications on your own. But some people have mentioned you can actually turn this sideways to make sure you can clear. So if that is an option for you, you have that available. All right guys, so this was the Bao Stabilizer System I was talking about earlier. But check this out. You have the power, you can retract your tongue, and I like the fact that they do give you power for your stabilizers just below. And check out the legs on these things too. Really robust. I like this system. And check out the leg also on your tongue jack too. This is really, really nice things here. And then you can actually raise all the stabilizers also. They do give you lights on the front of it too. And check out your storage area. Look how thick this door is too. It's pretty thick. It's probably like 1.25 inches. And then look how tall this storage area is too. It really does come in handy. They do give you light on both sides, on that side and right here. I would like to see more sensored lights though. That's what I would prefer on something like this. Aluminum construction. And this is a pretty big travel trailer, guys. You have 2 awnings on this side. And check out how wide your step above system is. This is huge. Oh my goodness, I've never seen one this big before. This is bigger than my fifth wheel. Man, Winnebago does it right. They use Asdale for the sidewall, so delamination is not going to be an issue for something like this. These sidewalls are white. Some manufacturers will use black sidewalls like you see on that trailer right there. And that really does heat up in the summertime. I mean, you always want to check your tires, make sure they have good capacity. They typically give you enough capacity for your trailer tires, but it's something that you might want to look into upgrading. They do fill these tires with nitrogen air too, which is really nice. This slide is a rack and pinion slide out, so this is a good slide out system to have, especially for a slide this big too. So let's go ahead and take a look up inside of this 3538BR. Here's a quick layout of this fifth wheel. You do have an option for a king bed, and this does have a rear bunkhouse and pretty decent size for the most part. This is a large travel trailer. Now let's get back to the video. As you walk inside, you have your control panel to the left. So when this slide is in and this slide is in, you really can't get back to your bunkhouse. So that sucks. If you need to stop and sleep, there's no door to get inside of here. I would have put a door on the back of this bad boy just because of that. But I mean, you really can't even get into your kitchen because this slide out would be blocking you. That's not a good design in my opinion. But at least you can get to this really easily. A lot of countertop space, so you can put a coffee pot right here. You can probably put your little wireless speaker there. It's a nice spot to put that at. Check out how big the island is too, and look at the design for the whatever you call this thing. My wife's not here, so my brain's not working. But no divider for the sink. Wow. And I like the color tones inside of here too. Really light colors, not too dark, not too white as some people don't like to have inside of RVs, because it does show dirt a lot better. I'm learning that right now. They do give you just a booth dinette, single couch. Look at the storage on this side. Look at this. I mean, you have countertop space just about everywhere in here. What's this for? Connect, charge. Oh, I wonder if that's for like a phone or something like that. Large Dometic refrigerator. This is about the same size as my fifth wheel. Check that out. That's the same size as my fifth wheel, guys. I wonder if this is an absorption. It looks like it is. Gas and electric. And I love the dark tinted glass. My wife loves these types of pantries too. This is usable. It's not too high. It's not too deep. Really good stuff here. I cannot get over the countertop space inside of here. Look at that. Even on the side of your stove, perfect spot. You can prep some food. I don't have countertop space in my fifth wheel. 3 burners. Look at the attention to detail on even your knobs too. This is kind of small though, so this is about normal size. This is a suburban cooking station too, or stove, whatever you want to call it. Decent sized television. I like this darker woods. Nice contrast. This is a smaller fireplace. The good news is they have the same 5,000 BTU output, so it doesn't really matter. The other longer ones just look sleeker. That's really the only difference there. Now this doorway to get back here is really small. I don't know why they did that, but you know what, they do give you a pocket door at the very least, and this comes in handy when your kids are being loud and rowdy. You can just shut them in here, and you can actually tell when I shut the door, you can literally like close this noise off back in this area. Vent opening. They do have a vent back right there, and this sleeps 3 people, 1 up top, Another one on the top here. Now this does fold up too. They give you USBs for your older kids if they are allowed to have their phones in their rooms, which our kids will never be able to do that. And it actually has some USBs right there too. And then this turns into a bed also. So they do give you a spot for television, tons of cubby storage. I mean, wow, really deep storage right there. Wow. All right, it's getting hot. So love this design, guys. They even give you storage underneath your booth. I gotta look under the island because we have our trash under our island in our fifth wheel. And as you guys can see, you cannot put a trash can in here. So I'm not gonna hold back from you guys. Look at that. That's not good. This is easy stuff to fix, obviously, but this is a brand new RV. That shouldn't really be happening, in my opinion. I've never had that happen on my Keystone Cougar. Just as an FYI. My trim has not come off. My bed is another story, though. Room darkening for your blinds. I will say, if you do have trim come undone, it is good that it comes undone now, because when the dealership fixes it, it's probably not going to ever do it again. They give you a trash can already. Wow, this is amazing. It's a really nice travel trailer. Wow, look at that. This is just whew. They raised the showers, decent size. Let's see. Oh yeah, you have a lot of head space in here. I'm not even close. I'm 6 foot. I'm not even close. They give you a standard vent fan. This is a decent size sink. I don't know why they don't make it to where it's under the countertop though. That's the kind of sink you really want. And I don't know if they have a reason for not doing it that way, but that's what I would like to see more of. A lot of storage in here. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and hop back in the bedroom. A lot of head space in this fifth wheel, in this travel trailer, excuse me. I think I'm in a fifth wheel. Oh wow. So this is something you're going to need a 1 ton or 3/4 ton truck. Probably a 3/4 ton gas. Washer and dryer hookup here, guys. So if you have that in here, that's going to add more weight to the front of your trailer. AC unit was in the bedroom, and one's in the living area too. Wow. Lights above. Television would go right here. It's a little loud because I'm by the road, but you do have LED lights, top and bottom. You do have a connection for a camera. This is going to be an accessory hitch out back, so probably 150, well, actually 250 pounds max. Rack and pinion slide. Rack and pinion slide here. No cable driven slides. This is a Swintech slide here. Excuse me, Swintech slide. And then you have 2 rack and pinion slides on this side. This is gonna be your dump area here. Back of your furnace. 50 amp connection. And this looks like your black tank flush on the side. And then this is going to be for your potable water. And then this is your wet bay. So this does have the solar prep, outside shower, and then your city water connection too. I love that they give you a power plug out here too on this side. Now one thing I want to go over before I show you the numbers is this. When you go online, you'll see something called dry hitch weight. Now some manufacturers, they'll say that it's the average weight of the trailers coming out of the factory. But here's something I'll tell you. This trailer, when it comes from the factory, does not have propane tanks. It also doesn't have batteries. So if you do a dual battery, and this probably can fit 2 30-pound tanks, that's 60 plus batteries, can be what, 30 pounds a piece. And something that Winnebago does is they put their tire, which is a spare tire, on the front of your tongue. So that's all going to transfer to your hitch. So that's something that you have to figure out before you buy a truck and trailer is this truck going to have enough payload capacity, which I'm going to show you in a second. Something else you have to consider is the weight added to the storage compartment or the basement or whatever you want to call it. Another thing is when you step into a travel trailer, they typically have the bedroom up front, which means this weight is going to transfer to the front also, especially when you have stuff under the bed, stuff inside of these cabinets and counter. I mean, everything that you put in here is going to go somewhere in terms of the transfer for the weight. If you have a front kitchen is going to have a higher tongue weight versus something like this too, so you have to be careful on your floor plan layout too. So I say that to say this: when you look at these numbers, you can't just look at the dry hitch weights and the lowest number for the towing capacity of this trailer. You have to look at it at max. So you want to take the gross vehicle weight and you want to use that number. So let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers for the trailer and for the truck, and then we'll go ahead and see if this truck is capable to stay within its limits to tow a big travel trailer. So gross vehicle weight is 10,400 pounds. It's going to have two 5,200 pound axles, and all-in cargo carrying capacity is 749 pounds. So this trailer from the factory weighs 9,651 pounds. That's not a lot of capacity, guys. Like, I'll be honest with you, this trailer should probably have like a 11, maybe like 11.2 maybe. This should have at least 1,300 pounds minimum, especially for something this big. Like, look how much storage you have inside this trailer. You're gonna easily get there, you know, even if you're camping light. So I'm surprised how low this number is, but let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers on the truck now. All right, so as you see here, the gross axle weight rating up front, 6,000 pounds. Gross axle weight rating in the rear is going to be 6,040 with a 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. Now, I didn't show this to you guys on the last video. So were you right when I said for you to guess? 2,220 pounds. That is a pretty big number for something like this, guys. Let's go ahead and put the numbers in the spreadsheet to see if this truck has enough capacity for that big travel trailer. I don't know if you guys saw it earlier, but check out how long this trailer is. 38 foot 11 inches. If I were in a market for something this big, or even 37 feet, I would probably venture to say long bed, preferably 1 ton, maybe a dually. This is a big trailer, and think about the wind hitting this thing going down the road. Now, down below, you can see what their dry weight is. So from the factory, you can already see that this trailer is a lot lighter than what you just saw. When you add your AC unit, your bigger bed, or any other options, those options are going to add weight. So they determine the hitch weight online based off of a dry, unloaded trailer. So this is about 9.4% of this dry weight here. So we're going to use 11%. I think that's a better number to use personally. I mean, this trailer is not going to have a lot of capacity, as you just saw, but it's just good to do worst case scenarios. On the Ram site, if you go to the very top and hit towing and capability, you can look up the towing guide. You also can put in your VIN number for your specific truck to figure out what your payload number is and your towing capacity. But what we're going to do here is we're going to click on towing info, and we're going to click on towing specs, and then we'll pretty much come to this page, which is going to show you the towing, payload, GVWR, but more importantly, it's going to show us the gross combined weight rating and then the max trailering. Now, I'm going to show these numbers to you in a spreadsheet, so let's go ahead and move over to that. These are going to be the numbers for the truck and for the travel trailer we just reviewed. Now, the only thing I didn't go over with you was the curb weight. In order to get here, take the GVWR of the trailer, subtract it from that yellow sticker, which is the payload, and it gives you this number, okay? Now, as you guys just saw, the dry hitch weight was 872 pounds. We're gonna do 9,651 times 11%, as we said. But before we do that, let's go ahead and add some passengers to this rig. And because this is a 3/4 ton diesel with a 10,000 pound GVWR, you're really gonna have to be careful on your cargo that you add to your truck, okay? So without the trailer, we're at 1,325 pounds of available payload. So what we're going to do is I'm going to multiply this number by 11%, and this is going to give us 1062, okay? So all in all, I mean, you have enough capacity to actually tow this trailer with this rig. I did a video recently, and I did it on purpose. It was a Laramie, just like this truck, just higher trim level.
it had a 1,970 pound payload capacity, right? So with that truck, you wouldn't have much left over really to tow this rig. And just to give you an idea, I mean, when you have more options or higher trim level, you're going to eat away at your capacity, right? So be sure to keep that in mind if you are looking at rigs. So obviously no one's going camping at the unloaded vehicle weight. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to take the GVWR and I'm going to multiply that by 11%. That number is going to be 1144. Okay, so all in all, you do have the capacity, but here's what I would tell you. This Winnebago is almost 40 feet long. You really need to consider a long bed truck or even really a dually for something like this, because think about how long this is and how much wind is going to hit this thing on the side, and think about the weight of that trailer too. Even with the best hitch and weight distribution setup, like a Hensley hitch for example, you're going to really feel this thing back there. So you really want to consider potentially 1-ton long bed single rear wheel or even a dually. So I always consider the wheelbase when you're towing conventionally, because a fifth wheel is going to tow better because that weight of that trailer is over the axles. So that does help with stability. So just keep that in mind. But hey guys, thank you so much for your time and watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have not done so yet, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next video.